I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the f*** are y'all? And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Hello, all you audio lovers, and welcome back to another scintillating, spine-tackling, that's not a phrase, spine-tingling, teeth-chattering, back-breaking episode of Radio Rufus. As always, I, the eloquent, debonair Rufus Rice, am joined by my ethnic producer, Aidan. Say hello, Aidan.
Hello.
Brilliant. The delivery of that line just improves week on week. Honestly, you just keep getting better. He'll be up for an Oscar next year. As always, we bring you the latest and greatest news, sports, games, stories from around the globe, straight to your personal brain through an audio delivery system. And as always, we bask like basking sharks in the shallow, warm, salty, but tropical waters of our 60s radio studio.
It is feeling very damp in here.
I think that's just you. I'm back to wearing the suit because it's not as hot as last week.
It got to like 14 degrees and I had to get the summer collection out. It was fucking boiling. But
you have bravely put the cardigan back on.
I'm regretting it immediately.
You'll be able to wring that out.
Yeah. It's going to need that treatment after this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it then with our first segment, not news. This is what hit the headlines this week. A Chinese zoo has been under fire after dyeing dogs to resemble pandas. An art installation video link portal connecting New York and Dublin has been taken offline after inappropriate behaviour. Former President Donald Trump has compared immigrants to Hannibal Lecter. And a new form of entertainment has been taking off as women pay to smash wood in a forest. Some great stories there. This will be worth your time. Let's get into it with our first story coming from Eastern Asia. A Chinese zoo has been slammed on social media this week, being accused of trying to deceive visitors with a pair of dogs dyed black and white to look like panda bears. Videos circulating on Chinese social media show the two, quote, panda dogs in an exhibit at the Taishou Zoo in the eastern province of Jiangsu that opened on the 1st of May. Though the animals are patterned to look like pandas, which are endemic to China, they do have wagging tails, which some have said has given them away.
I know you hate dogs just generally, but
yeah,
I like dogs, and I'd like to comment on all the white women calling these panda dogs cute. And say that I absolutely agree. I want one of these running around my house.
Okay, let me clarify this. I don't despise dogs. They're not welcome in my house, though.
Would you welcome a panda dog in your house?
No, I think it'd be worse because at that point, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if this is a dog or a panda, and I have looked at it. But
it is strange that they painted the dogs to resemble an animal native to China.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They've got fucking loads of them.
Apparently, there's not many pandas shagging then.
No, I heard they have problems, they try and persuade them to sort of have sex. It's like in Japan, their birth rate is so low, you actually get money from the government for having children.
It's like you in prison.
Mate, to be fair, on recent form, it has been, I do feel a bit like a panda.
You had an away trip there that didn't go exactly to plan.
Oh, we bring this up now?
Yeah.
Usually we don't talk about stuff we actually do on the show, but last week, after the recording, we went for a couple of drinks, which turned into a 2-day bender for me. And I went on an away day in Fulham.
You ended up at Craven Cottage?
Yeah, I was prowling around Fulham like a horny man leopard, which is a man painted to look like a leopard.
Yeah.
And I discovered that girl I was talking to was more into sort of BBC than what I've got to offer.
Yeah. Which
is MWC.
Medium white cock?
Yeah, medium white cock, yeah.
Are you downplaying it?
Sorry?
Are you downplaying it?
Yeah, I'm downplaying it so that any girl I ever get with will have a pleasant surprise.
You ever hear, you see it in TikTok comments and stuff, apparently whenever a man says that it's small, women expect it to be really big.
Yeah, but
the reverse.
I think that's evolved now because it sort of flips back around.
We're onto them now.
If a guy I think 5 years ago, if a guy says, "Oh, my cock's tiny" in 2019, that means you've got a hammer on you. You're basically packing like Drake. But I think these days, girls have got wise because guys have now understood that. Girls are now wise that if you say that, it's probably because you want them to think you've got a big cock. So
Medium's a good middle
evolved
ground.
to medium because
Yeah.
like, how can you really pick on medium? Because it's still not a brag, I don't think. Having like a median,
Just an average cock.
like statistically average penis from a sample population.
Are you talking about average here or average in China? Because that's two very different things.
Well, I was talking about me, but we can talk about that as well if you want. Anyway, getting back to this story. Zoo officials told Chinese state media that they were Chow Chows, which is a fluffy dog breed originally from northern China, painted black and white to resemble giant pandas, adding they had clearly advertised them as panda dogs and did not make any false claims. This has aggravated some members of the Chinese PETA brigade, though. Quote, "It is not funny at all to dye Chow Chow dogs to attract tourists." I have to disagree. I think this is hilarious.
Pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. So that's something that one commenter wrote. Presumably it was in Chinese, though, not English. Their fragile skin and naturally thick coats make them susceptible to skin diseases. Now, I'm not a scientist. Oh, we've got a video.
We do.
Fantastic.
Just so you can see the detail we went into with.
So if you're listening on Spotify, hop on over to YouTube and you can check this video out with us of some sort of panda imposters. Honestly, if I'd had a few, I could be convinced that's a panda.
Yeah, I've got really bad eyesight as well, so at a like first glance, that'd be me.
But it looks they've done a really good job. That looks exactly like a panda.
Panda dogs. But whenever they start licking their own balls and stuff, that's not panda behavior, I don't think.
The thing is, I've never really seen a panda, so I don't really know.
That's just a fat furry dog to me. Like,
They're sweet, though. I mean, it doesn't make me despise dogs any less, but I kind of, understand it.
would it be strange if I painted my cat to resemble a tiger, just for my own amusement?
I think it would be hilarious. Yeah.
Maybe next week. Oh, they're comparing it to people like dyeing their hair fucking...
Yeah, so the zoo officials, because of all this criticism, they came back saying the dogs have not been harmed. Quote, "Normal people dye their hair." A bloke clearly desperate for a bit of justification told the Chile Evening News. Dogs can dye their hair too. It's the same as hair.
It's just not the same thing at all.
I'm not like an advocate for animal abuse, and I don't think this is right.
Yeah.
But
It's not doing them any harm.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I think
If
it's
you
just...
paint a human, they're fine.
I think it's just because it's against their will. But maybe that dog loves being a panda dog.
Isn't being in a zoo against any animal?
That is very true.
So
They don't really have a leg to stand on.
I really don't like zoos at all. I think they're pretty depressing places.
Yeah.
Like often it's very sick animals getting laughed at by
Just a
children.
pile of fucking depressed animals.
Like I understand the ones from Madagascar wanting to escape.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And all good luck to those guys as well. Shout out my driller Alex from New York. Right. Thing is, this is not the first time this has happened in China.
Was this like a recurring thing?
Yeah. So in 2019, a dog cafe in Sichuan province raised animal rights concerns, dyeing 6 Chow Chows to look like pandas. They've got a problem though, because they've called it a dog cafe.
Yeah. They
So-
fucked themselves.
Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot from step one there.
Yeah. It's like that woman from a couple of episodes ago that reported herself about the bad meth.
Yeah. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
You fucked yourself over. In 2020, a viral video allegedly showed a panda being walked by a woman. And then last July, a zoo in the eastern province of Zhejiang denied that its Malayan sun bears were human beings after a video of one standing like a person went viral. Thing is, I wouldn't put this past I've been to China,
Yeah.
I've seen this sort of a lot of their sort of entertainment parks and stuff have been, you have to remember they haven't been exposed to decades of extravagant Western culture like we have, because it's only recently that a lot of people have been sort of brought out of relative poverty to be able to do these sort of leisure activities.
Yeah.
And like what I'm trying to say is like Chinese Disneyland is so shit. Right, so the bar is a lot lower for entertainment.
Yeah.
So like, if you went to the zoo and everybody was like a kid in a costume instead of an animal, I think they'd still be pretty happy.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
can't
I'm
really
trying to say.
comment on the state of like Disneyland and stuff like that. The closest I've got to that is a park in Dublin called Tato Park that has got like one
Tato Park?
Yeah, it's got one roller coaster made out of wood.
Yeah, right.
It's so shit.
I went to Disneyland Paris when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I still hate roller coasters. I will refuse to go on them. They just creep me out.
I like them. I don't think I've ever been to one big enough to creep me out.
Right. Anyway, I went on Thunder Mountain, and I just bawled my eyes out the whole time. And I'm never going back.
Yeah.
So that will be my last roller coaster experience. Right. I think that this conspiracy about like dying animals to look like other animals goes further.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hamster, gerbil, guinea pig, meerkat. I think they're all the same thing.
Just if you sort of squash it down and compress
Yeah,
it.
like a meerkat is a long hamster.
Yeah, if you stretch the hamster out.
Yeah.
Like got it and fucking... Yeah. I see what you mean there. You're onto something.
Like my sister used to have a hamster. Absolutely, like it was vermin. Honestly, it was a little rat. Like hamsters are not cute. They're vicious animals. They're desert rats, basically. And it was so disgusting. I reckon you stretch that thing out, you get a bloody good meerkat out of it because it was fat.
It might not still be breathing, but it would hold the shape.
Well, yeah. Well, they're not real anyway, are they, meerkats? They're just from the adverts.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Car insurance.
Yeah.
They're just salesmen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Gunnosaurus is a real dinosaur.
You just ruined my whole childhood. I don't want to make defamatory claims, especially not about my own club, the club I support.
Yeah.
But any man that applies for that role of Gunnosaurus, there needs to be a comprehensive background check done.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd be checking hard drives before I'd be checking CVs.
It's like Boy Scout leaders. It's like, why do you want this job? Man?
Yeah. It's a bit strange.
Hence the chant, which shall not be repeated for fear of demonetization.
I feel like those are the type of jobs, if you get them, you need to fall into them. Actively applying for that kind of shit's just a bit weird.
How many people do you think apply for... If the Gunnosaurus job is available tomorrow, it's going to be quite a lot, I would have thought.
You know what? Depending on the wage, you might see me in that queue.
Yeah. Gunnosaurus has been putting on a bit of weight recently.
He's a fuck. It would be perfect.
Right. Moving on to our next story then. I think this is my favourite story of the week. Art installation video link portal, which is some technical jargon, connecting New York and Dublin, has been taken offline after reports of inappropriate behaviour. This is a story that's got to make you proud to be Irish. Right?
So proud.
And I think I'm speak for both of us in saying proud to not be American.
Even more so.
Yeah. So as part of a sort of interconnectivity arty bullshit thing, two massive circular live stream video screens were erected in New York City and the Irish capital last Wednesday as part of an artistic vision to bring the world closer together. So the collective behind it stated that the, quote, sculptures act as a bridge to a united planet.
It's just so wanky.
Yeah, I know. It's a sort of like arty bullshit that just drains the soul, really.
Yeah.
When I went to a hippie school, which was 2 years, grade 6 and grade 7 in Indonesia, that is the sort of shit that you have to put up with every day. When we did a tour of the campus, and there's a crystal in a clearing on campus, and this is the life force of the school. The crystal provides the energy.
Oh my fucking God. I wouldn't have lasted a week in that school.
Oh, mate, the thing is, like, I think you just start to get brainwashed after a while.
You get used to it. You believe it.
Just get
You're like standing around the crystal.
There's only so much meditation before you just start to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about these portals then. So basically the idea is you sort of hold up nice messages to other people, but our faith in humanity was restored after the portals were taken offline following reports of hilarious but quite antisocial antics on both sides. So New Yorkers and Dubliners alike took turns flashing their bare asses at each other. There's a great video online of an OnlyFans model getting her tits out to Ireland, and then an Irish bloke did cocaine at the same time on the other side.
Lovely.
I mean, this is just awesome.
Sums up the country.
Have to say, I mean, that is criminal. You can't just get your... If there's one kid there, you're gone for life.
True.
Yeah, but
the thing I saw that kind of kicked it off was that one of the Americans tried to start the battle by holding up a photo of a potato, and I can just imagine him sat thinking, "This will show the Irish To which the Irish responded by holding video footage of 9/11.
Yeah.
Which would be a lot funnier if the portal in New York wasn't right around the corner from where it happened.
Yeah. It literally is next door. Yeah. An online comment from the tweet about the cocaine said, quote, was a huge spoon of gear he shoved up his schnoz. I absolutely love it. There was also an Irish woman who was apprehended by the Garda after dry humping the portal.
I saw that video too. That's mental. Another thing about it though, they put it in like the druggiest street in in Dublin, of course.
Really? Did they put it in a dodgy?
Yeah. It's like in a really, really rough area. So
did they not just put it like right downtown?
You would imagine that, but
it's in downtown New York.
Yeah. No, they just put it in some alleyway with a bit of space in Dublin.
they put it in the ghetto.
Yeah. It is. It's the roughest part.
So what do you expect?
Yeah, you're gonna get that. As for the fucking OnlyFans woman, you can't do anything these days without an OnlyFans woman getting her tits out.
I've been noticing this. It's every opportunity now.
Although at the same time, it's probably a nicer view for your average like person at the other side than the ass crack of an Irish scaffolder, which was the other thing being showed a lot.
Yeah, I don't think any Irish people are actually complaining, but it is technically illegal. Like, I don't have any problems with this.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's so funny. But yeah, this is the sort of banter that I think makes the world go round. Like this really brought the mood up this week. I would love to know, let's say you had a portal outside your house. Where would you like the other end to be? What would you like to look at?
You know those videos in Fiverr that you see that people would get their friends for like their birthday and stuff, where it would be like the African men dancing and holding up like a sign? I would like it to be just in front of where they do that. Yeah, because
it's always the same place.
Happy,
yeah.
And their energy's great. They're dancing. They're making they're making a fiver. Realistically, they're probably getting exploited, but
yeah. Well, if you think about it, it's a fiver for the whole thing, so you got to divide it up amongst
25 people,
all the members of the team. So it's probably not a lot, but I imagine prices are probably a bit lower where they are.
Yeah.
So,
although generally, I just think that would be fun to see because those videos are always hilarious. Do you have an answer for this?
Oh, I'd like it inside a mental asylum or something.
That'd be pretty interesting, actually.
So, like, the mentalists, like, when they're at lunch, maybe in, like, the sort of canteen, they can sort of do whatever they like.
Yeah.
And I can just watch it. I think that'd be awesome.
It would be a weird one for your lunch break. Like, usually you get, like, 2006 Premier League highlights. You're just sitting watching the inside of a mental asylum.
Just outside my house. Yeah. Awesome. Maybe I can taunt them. Like, I can flash things up on the screen and it will, like, trigger their...
Just use it to fuck with them.
Yeah.
The main thing about this whole story that annoys me the most is that there is a lot of Americans that are kind of taking issue with it and criticising the Irish as if 90% of them don't try and claim to be Irish every March.
That's true. According to the Americans, it's all the same people, so there's really no...
Yeah.
That's probably why they put it in Ireland to begin with, right? Because every American thinks they're Irish, even though
they celebrate Paddy's Day more than we do. They fucking dye rivers green and everything.
Yeah, that's so mental. Yeah. That's so American as well. Right, moving on to... From America to America, with another installment in our favourite mini segment, American Unintelligence. Former US President and current ambassador for senile dementia, Donald Trump, attending his first rally in a while due to the criminal case that he's currently dealing with. He's come out and made a big statement, and I think this could be the start of one of the great comebacks of history. I think Trump gets back in, and this is sort of the first domino.
Stepping stone.
Yeah, this is the first domino to fall. So during a fairly incomprehensible tirade about immigration, DT claimed other countries, unclear which, but probably Mexico, let's be honest, have implemented targeted programs. Oh, this links back to what we were just talking about, to send specifically their mental asylum patients to the USA.
Yeah.
So, honestly... I think it's a good idea. I think that's what we should do. Like, bin off Rwanda or whatever, and bin off the immigrants. Let's send the mentalists to America.
There's already enough of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, the fit in.
What's one more gonna be? It's like giving a fat man a donut.
Yeah, it's not going to really add anything.
No, it's fine. It's already fat. The problem's already sorted itself out. Yeah. So he thinks like countries Mexico, Dominican Republic, this sort of thing, and have a lot of immigrants in the US, are like deliberately sending their mental asylum patients to the States. He then goes on to compare these people to Hannibal Lecter, the serial killer.
That's pretty normal.
From the film. But then he describes Hannibal Lecter as a, quote, wonderful man. Which makes me think, has he even seen the film?
Yeah, I think he might be getting it mixed up with something.
Yeah, I know.
If he really thought Hannibal was such a wonderful man, why would he be worried about people similar to him flooding into the country?
It does bring up an interesting thing, though. I'm not sure if you'll agree with me on this, but don't you think there's something intrinsically quite sexy about being a serial killer? With it in the danger aspect.
Women fucking love Ted Bundy.
That's what I mean. He died in the 80s after having killed 12 people.
Yeah.
And then they release documentary footage 40 years after, and there's women still thirsting about him on Twitter.
Was that the same reaction Jeffrey Dahmer got? Or was he kind of a bit more just...
Nah, he was more of a gay icon.
Yeah.
So he was for the blokes.
Right. I can't think of any famous women serial killers to try and put myself in the shoes of those people to compare it to.
I don't think it really works that way round.
You know what I mean?
I can't think of one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose West, I guess.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. But I have spoken to girls about this.
Yeah.
And apparently there's something, I can't really get into the mindset, obviously, of being a girl, but there's something...
Is it how on edge it is? Because you don't know whether you're going to get fucked or killed, or both.
Yeah, there's something exciting about the danger aspect of it. I was at uni once, I was playing a drinking game, and there was a girl who was quite quiet and reserved, but definitely a bit strange. She'd had a few bevs.
Yeah.
And we were going around the circle, saying what our biggest kinks were. And she, no joke, just went, I want to be double penetrated while someone holds a knife to my throat.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So that's a pretty normal answer to this game. Yeah.
Was her father around, do you reckon?
He wasn't there, no.
He wasn't next in line.
he wasn't in the circle. But it's you go around the circle, it's MILFs,
yeah,
Latinas. Oh, I'm into light bondage, blindfold me. I mean, don't blind me. And then she said that genuinely true, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck?"
How do you discover that?
Yeah. Also, she was definitely a virgin.
Do you reckon it's just something that she's trying to do for shock value?
50 Shades of Grey, mate.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because she wasn't that kind of person. But I think that's connected to this sort of thing, where there's something... Some people are into that.
It's like...
Trump, clearly.
Yeah. Do you ever have a...
It's about to be a terrible question.
No, it's... Do you ever hear people in school going on about danger wanks?
Oh, yeah, danger wanks, yeah.
Is that kind of the same thing?
Mum Come Quick. You know that game? Yeah.
Yeah. Never played it myself, but...
No, it's not really for me, but if anyone doesn't know, a Mum Come Quick is a masturbatory game where you're lying in bed, you shout Mum Come Quick, and then you have to get the job over before she gets in the room. It's like the ultimate.
It's a strange one.
Yeah, it's definitely a stranger one.
Can see the thrill, though.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I just I don't need that much adrenaline in my life.
Yeah.
I think it's bad for you. Anyway, getting back to our story.
What even was the fucking story? Donald Trump, that's right.
Yeah. Trump finishes off this clear and lucid point by saying that there are some people like Hannibal Lecter who are flooding into the country, but they're also wonderful people, but they're also mental asylums. So what's he on about?
It sounds like he's escaped from one of these fucking mental asylums.
He needs to go. Right. A new form of entertainment has been taking off as women pay to smash wood in forest. And that's not a euphemism. That is literal smashing wood in a forest. So divorced women have discovered a new form of therapy, and it's starting to catch on. Going to Scotland on trips costing $2,000 to $4,000, hiking in the woods, thinking of experiences that have wronged them, finding the biggest stick they can, screaming, and beating said stick on the ground until they can no longer move their arms. That's a summary of the activities. I believe we've got a little clip.
Absolute fucking lunatics.
Sorry. I was going to try and make like a witty comment about it, but it's just funny.
I'd love to walk into that group of people and be like, ladies, calm down. It'll be grand. Not being so emotional. When people do this and give themselves permission to release their anger, their capacity for joy actually expands. The woman saying that is the same person charging them $2 to $4 fucking grand to go to it.
Yeah, her capacity for buying a new house actually expands.
To any gobshite paying that fee, you do realise you can take yourself into a forest, find a stick, and repeatedly beat it off the ground without a fucking transaction.
It's not a costly activity.
Yeah.
So, like, firstly, it's a scam.
Yeah, 100%.
But also, what I think this is, so I'll invoke a quote from a journalist who went on one of these trips. Said that by the end of it, participants were covered in dirt and mud with bruises and cuts on their hands. Sticks were broken everywhere. And
of course it fucking was.
Yeah, of course they were. She says she got a lot from the experience and has done it twice since. Quote, it's really a place where you can be this feral wild woman and not be looked at other than with love and acceptance and care. I think what this is women discovering what men do. Because I was going to roast this activity, but it actually looks class. Like, imagine going with a bunch of boys in the woods and just breaking sticks.
Yeah, there was no better crack whenever you're younger than finding a really good stick on a walk.
Yeah, I know.
You find it and you have that stuck to your hand for the next week.
It's like, what qualities does a good stick have? Like, sturdiness, girth, length, just sort of everything that makes it a good stick. Yeah.
Pretty much. Also, if you find one that vaguely resembles something else, or if it has like a sharpened end.
Oh yeah, it's a weapon.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, those are always great. Bring it into school, spear your mate.
It's not even the hitting the stick of the ground aspect that I think is mental. It's just the screaming and the how fucking mental they are.
I think I'm going to disagree with you here, because I think that looks like a lot of fun. I think if you got into it, maybe I need to get mortally drunk.
Yeah.
But like, I think once you start screaming, it's like laughing workshops. Do you know about this?
No.
So basically, they get everyone in a room.
Yeah.
And they start to fake laugh.
Until everyone actually is laughing.
I
can see how that would work, like.
Oh, you impervious to psychological tricks there.
Yeah.
I was
trying to be.
Also,
all my brain power to avoid that.
Yeah. Also, whitest activity of all time.
100%. The main thing I took away from this is that white women are like way better paid than I would have thought.
Because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
I think that was the divorce settlement.
But anyway, I couldn't fucking afford this.
It's true. It's like a weird elitist cult.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you do you, man. Like,
it's just another thing that this is American, isn't it?
Oh yeah. But they go to Scotland because that's where they're from, so
right.
To like connect with their sort of roots and then go into the woods and bash sticks.
If you started doing this shit back in Ireland, you would have your shoelaces taken off you and signed into a fucking psych ward. Yeah. You would be solely using plastic mirrors for about 3 months. You wouldn't be trusted.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff there. Shout out to the woman in the woods.
Do you reckon?
Sorry. I think it would be a great idea for us to recreate this.
Try this out.
I'd love to try. I'd love to give it a go. So maybe if we get to 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, we'll give this a go. That's a Radio Rufus official promise.
Yeah.
We're going to give, what's it called? I don't know. We're going to smash some sticks.
Rage ritual.
Yeah. We're going to do that if we get to 15k subs. That is a promise.
And this isn't an empty promise. The people that still come at me in the YouTube comments about the drag makeup.
Okay. Let's
200 fucking quid.
Drag makeup is expensive, and I didn't realise when we said we were going to do that. Yeah. 200 quid. Are you serious? No fucking way. That's not worth it.
It's free to break a few sticks, as we just discussed.
Sticks grow on trees. There's loads of them. Right, moving on to our next segment then. Snatch of the Day. We revisit the realm of nerd sports once again this week to report on the Cardboard Tube Fighting League, or CTFL for short. It's another of those sports, I think, in the genre of sports where people who are naturally really unathletic do it as an excuse to not play any real sports.
Yeah.
Just like Quidditch. the CCFL operates in 3 countries though, which I've written 3 countries, but now I'm remembering it's the countries in question are America, and Australia. So it's actually 2 countries. So they host battles, which are team games. So so you win as a team, right?
Yeah.
It's like a team deathmatch or something. And then a knockout tournament, which is like individual battles, sort of like, a bracket style thing.
Yeah.
Which can go
Last
anywhere.
man standing kind of.
Yeah, 64 participants.
Fuck.
But it's not like one battle, like it's duels.
Yeah.
You see what I mean, right? So let's have a bit of a look at this. I mean, first off, this looks so fucking lame. Loving this move.
Do you reckon the women watching this thinking, who's this fucking stud doing that twirly stick move?
Yeah, he's like a masked vigilante. I'm loving the grip from this guy.
Yeah. Who's your favourite before we go any further?
Oh, the robot nerd on the left.
Yeah. I don't know, I think the dinosaur man looks pretty promising.
What, Triceratops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said last week, whenever we were reviewing Quidditch footage, that might be the nerdiest sport I've ever seen. I'd like to take that back and say that this now takes that crown.
Also, they're not very good.
Yeah.
I feel like... What is it?
He's trying to provoke him. I regret that. I would fucking ice these 2 nerds if you give me, like, not even one of the big ones.
Give me a real sword.
I'm talking the cardboard under a bit of tinfoil. I would fucking 2 of them and I'd run this thing.
Right. So I'm going to read through the rules. I'd like you to react to the standard rules of the Cardboard Tube Fighting League.
Surprised there are any.
There are 10 rules.
Fuck me.
Rule 1. Don't break the tube. In a duel, the last person with an unbroken tube is the winner. So it's not actually to beat up the other person.
Yeah.
It's to not break the sword.
Surely you just go in and take the punishment. You're wearing armour anyway. To win.
What I'm thinking is, surely you've got to hit him with... Like, the idea is to hit him with it. So it's first person to break the sword.
Yeah, you would think that. That's so weird. It wouldn't matter if that was the rules and that meant you got a fucking fancy trophy at the end of it. I'm breaking that over one of these nerds' heads.
In the event that both participants break their tubes at the same time, they're both losers. I think they're both losers anyway, before we started. Rule 2. No stabbing. No lunging. No weapons.
What does it mean? You don't whip out a fucking ninja star? Or?
Yeah, I guess no guns, no
Glocks.
no Glocks, yeah. Bringing a Glock to one of these.
People are watching this, like, unpacking the bow and arrow they had ready to go.
Yeah, my mace. Yeah. Rule 4. Do not attack the opponent's face. Hitting the face is heavily frowned upon and can force ejection from the event.
Oh no.
Oh no! Yeah, I've been bad from the nerd fight.
You know, rightly, anyone that gets banned from that would think they're a real badass too.
Yeah,
They'd have to go underground with it, like a fucking cardboard fight club.
First rule of Cardboard Fight Club. Yeah, I mean, I just think getting hit in the face with a cardboard tube is not that painful.
Yeah, if you do get stabbed, that looks pretty suspect. If you get stabbed with it.
You got stabbed with it. Yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say?
That would be different because that would fucking hurt. But if you're just getting hit across the face, you can deal with it. Like,
I think, yeah. Once a tube is broken, that's the end of the fight. No afters is basically that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go in there with a sort of Roy Keane style stamp at the end. This is my favourite rule. Rule 6. Only official CTFL tubes are allowed.
What qualifies a...
So they provide them at the events, and they've got like an exact length, girth, like weight.
Yeah.
So everybody's got the same sword.
Do you reckon there's been people before that's brought their own one filled with like fucking concrete or something? And that's why they've had to enforce this rule?
Yeah, it's just got nails in it. Yeah.
To be fair, like, it looks like good crack whenever you're 12.
Yeah, I was going to say, year 4, I'll be all over this.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, you brought in 2 fucking cardboard tubes in here. We were going to town, but it's a dedication to take yourself off, make a costume full of cardboard.
The costume, really,
yeah.
It's like, I want to be Batman.
Yeah.
But I'm not mature enough to realise that that's not real.
Yeah. It's the same as like the Gunnersaurus thing we were saying. This has to like fall into your lap. You can't go looking for it. That's whenever it sort of gets into dodgy nerd territory.
Next rule. No booze at the event.
That would be far better.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just get absolutely sloshed. I'd have a whale of a time.
Yeah.
But apparently one of the fundamental principles of this league is that fun can be had without alcohol. I don't know if like the founders of the league are in AA or what's up there, but
sounds like it.
It would be vastly improved by a lot of alcohol, this event.
Yeah.
Number 9, no shields.
This fucker's cheating. He's got a mobile phone shield.
Yeah, he's got a shield.
He's got a fucking Nokia 3310 attached to his wrist.
Right, so he's cheating.
Yeah.
And 10, you've got to sign a waiver. So in the case of injury, the league doesn't get sued.
Has there been any cardboard tube fighting deaths?
Paper cut? death by 1,000 paper cuts, maybe. Yeah. God, it's so crap.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next segment then, drizzle kicks, coming at you now. The Northern Lights were visible in England this week. Did you see them?
I did, not only in the sky, but on every prick's Instagram story.
So did I, but unfortunately I was busy at the time at the aforementioned away fixture in Fulham, which I would describe the outcome of that. In terms of sort of trying to secure some muff in Fulham, it was like a gritty 0-0.
Yeah.
I didn't lose.
Yeah.
But I didn't win either.
This is as a Sandia. You still have the aggregate fixture to try and...
Yeah, I'm hoping for the return leg, you
Yeah.
know, I can sort of scrap it out.
Yeah.
And
If you get her down to Brighton, it's fucking curtains.
There's no chance. There's
Not
absolutely
happening.
no chance. Yeah.
So you are going to have to accept defeat then.
No, I think it will just be like postponed eternally, that that home fixture. Yeah, absolutely. So I totally missed it. I was just in some random pubs in Fulham and I didn't even think to look outside.
Yeah. I was in the middle. I was playing pro clubs and then I was chatting to my brother who's back in Ireland and he's like, oh, the sky looks funny. I hadn't heard anything about it. So I just went out and looked and I was like,
were you aware of the Northern Lights' existence before?
Yes.
Okay,
But
cool.
not in fucking...
Because like it sounds like whoever you were talking to didn't even know that was a thing.
Nah, I think he's just a fucking backwards Irishman and that was his way of saying it.
Yeah, fair enough. So there we go. That's all the weather that happened this week. That it did dominate the headlines, to be fair.
What do you think of the whole, like, would you class this NPC behaviour of putting the photos up on your Instagram story, every single person that you have in your feed?
Thing is, it's one of those things. It's like posting a picture when you got a Kahoot win at school.
Yeah.
And you put like a picture from your laptop on your story. It's
Right.
like, yeah, it's NPC behavior, but I'm still proud of it.
Yeah. It's like that. Were you ever... You didn't really play much PlayStation or Xbox, so...
Not loads.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you aware of all the people putting up like their Fortnite wins, like the Victory Royale and their Snapchat stories?
Yeah, I
and
guess
all?
that's the same sort of thing, like
Yeah.
putting a dub on your Snapchat.
Yeah, so I've done that, so I can't really comment.
Yeah.
As late as like a month ago.
Right, now we move on to our games segment, Gamey Schumer, coming at you now. And we've been inspired by the story we had last week about that bloke who ate 700 cheese balls in one sitting. So we're going to have a match, a cheese ball championship, if you will, of our very own. We've each got a party bag of Wotsits, which are the closest thing we could find to a cheese ball, cheese puff. You know, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And the fastest person to finish these wins. That's the whole game.
Yeah, we get them open first.
Yeah, we can get them open first. Have to say, I do feel like I've been set up for failure here. You're not shy to a bit of food.
Especially not Wotsits. I fucking love
Yeah.
Wotsits.
But I think this might be more about technique. Like, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. If you know what I mean?
They're fucking giant too.
Yeah, they're big Watsu. They're big fuckers. Anyway.
This is
This is so stupid. No, I'm going no lube.
Do we do who can eat the most in 2 minutes, or just the quickest?
First is to finish the bag, I think.
Right. Do you want to count us in?
3, 2, 1, scran. Oh my god. No.
Well, I water.
Yeah. No. Done. 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 How many do you have left? Not many. 2? Oh, it was close. Yes! The most unexpected victory in Radio Rufus history. Good game, sir. Oh my god. I can't believe I won that. I thought you were going to have that on lock for sure. You're still struggling. Wow. I feel like David is just beating Goliath there. I'm on a real high now. I'm buzzing.
My mouth is so fucking disgusting.
I have to say, I think that really undermines the sort of achievement of that guy. The cheese ball guy from last week.
Yeah, he done it. How long did it take him?
Well, he ate like 700 in half an hour.
We just done fucking 600 in 2 minutes.
But it's got to be, it's quite a lot of what's in there.
Yeah.
It's got to be what? Sort of 50, 60 what's.
God help the fucking cleaners in this building.
I wasn't aware we had cleaners.
Yeah, the office is pretty rank, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. That was an exciting game.
I have so much Watsit in my teeth.
Oh yeah, in between the cracks, yeah.
Fair play.
I think that would make for good viewing.
And good listening. Just here.
It's not the sexiest I've ever looked.
Nah. Nor I.
No. Are you going to finish them off, yeah? Might as well. No, I'm good.
Sure?
I'm alright, I've had enough.
100%, you don't want to watch it?
Okay.
I can actually enjoy these two.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
You cheating bastard!
I found it on the floor.
Where did you have them stored?
No, that I just found one on the floor that I didn't notice. I'm not cheating.
You got two there?
I didn't eat 2. The cameras will show. I just found it after the game, and I didn't.
So technically, did I win then?
No.
I just finished mine before you ate those two.
Controversy on.
I can't make you seriously with cheese in your teeth. So, it's getting interesting now.
We might have to come back to a ruling next week. We might have to go to the editor. Editor Matt might have to look at the footage and see who really won.
You had 2 there, you bastard.
No, I had 1. We can check the footage. I had 1. But
even then, though.
It was on the floor. I didn't realise until I finished the bag. But
if I get any on my floor before I say anything, I don't.
We'll see. I was going to try and eat it without you noticing, but you sort of came around at the wrong time. I was going to quickly just... Oh. Right. Let's whack all the cheese dust on the floor and move on with our lives. Coming on to our next segment now, questionable. This is where I poll the audience with a tantalizing query every week, and we read out the best responses. This week, I asked you, what is the most cringeworthy moment you have personally experienced / witnessed? So here's the best ones. First response, please play with my toes. Hasn't strictly answered the question there.
Did you respond?
No, it was a bloke, so
Right,
no.
fair.
If it was a girl, then maybe.
It's a pity Matt's off sick. He'd have been all over that.
Oh, really? Is that?
Yeah,
sort of-
he edits the toe championships. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Second one, my grandma's 84-year-old vagina. No more context given there.
Not a pleasant sight, I'd imagine.
It's not really a moment.
If it lasts a moment, that's an issue.
Yeah. Right, onto an answer that might actually fulfill the requirements of the question. Had an annual talent show at our school at the end of the year. We were year 8.
Mm-hmm.
A kid in my class made a rap song, in brackets, pre-balls drop. That's not the name of the song. He was
A pretty good song.
prepubescent.
Yeah.
While his mate did a whole pop and lock dance next to him. This is so 2013, isn't it? Yeah.
I can see this happening in my school.
Yeah. This was all about another girl in our year. Ended it by asking her out in front of the whole school on stage. She was given the mic and said no. Never seen in the hall as well.
Yeah.
We had a similar incident at my school where, like, this guy came up and did a song, like, in assembly.
Yeah.
But he fucked it up, like, badly. Like in the X Factor auditions when they fucking badly. And then he was so they turned it off because he fucked it up twice. And then he goes, "Can I sing another song?"
Just know when to admit defeat.
Yeah. And our headmaster was like, "No." Right. Next one. After a college tailgate, people started heading to a football game. A college tailgate, I guess, is like American prees before a like an American football game.
Yeah. Strange.
As I was walking to the stadium, I witnessed a girl who decided some random house's front yard would be an adequate place to take a piss in broad daylight. She squats down, clunge and bahookie out for the world to see. Clunge and bahookie. I look over and just lock eyes with this girl. Even through her drunken haze, I could see great shame in her eyes. It felt like when a dog goes out in the yard to do its business and awkwardly looks back at you. Only this time, it's a girl who just downed probably 10 vodka crans. A shocking sight to see a woman revert to such a primal state while being absolutely off the wagon. Love this.
Something you see in at the hour of the owl. You're not going to see an issue with it, but it's broad
What the
daylight.
fuck was that?
At the hour of the owl. Late.
What?
It's very medieval speak.
Can you break it down word by word there?
At the hour of the owl.
What is that? What is that? Hang on.
Because they come out late at night.
The hour
Of the owl.
of the oil.
Owl.
The hour of the owl.
The hour of the owl.
Oh, Christ. I thought that was just like Gaelic gibberish, to be honest.
I suppose it kind of was.
The hour of the owl.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
I think I heard
It's
it.
really hard to say. Especially your accent.
My
It's
accent.
crazy because you miss out half the letters anyway.
I just ignore half the vowels.
On the ski trip I was on probably a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
This happened at the street party in the French town that we were. A girl that had come to our prees. We were waiting in line for the toilets, and she just did it in the line. Like, in the line.
Yeah. Bit of shame. Come on now. That's ridiculous.
She did this exact thing. It's just, how? She didn't even find anything to do it behind. She just sort of did it.
There's something kind of similar that happened in our first year house. For one of my friends that didn't really see a lot of action, he was bragging about how someone that he was chatting to in a pub had took off her underwear, gave them to him, and said, like, right, basically, I'll see you later. Like, I'll come meet you after this.
Okay, hot.
Yep. Hold fire a second.
Enjoying that? Oh, okay.
So he basically sat down on the sofa and he was steaming, so he didn't really realize what was going on. He got up, and as he went in to get another drink, we realized that the underwear had fell out of his pocket and they were covered in shit stains.
Oh, that is so grim.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
Is it still hot?
It's lost a bit of the, it's lost a bit of the heat.
Yeah.
Right.
But I remember thinking you can brag about that as long as they're not skid marked.
I think he's been very honest there, because I would have cut that off at the first half of that story.
No, he didn't tell us. He was. I don't know whether he had seen them or not. If he did see them and he continued to.
Oh, you found the shit stain?
Yeah, it was. He stood up to get another drink and they fell out of his pocket. And then the fellow was sitting beside him. I was sat at the other side. He looked over and was like, "Lads, can you see this?" And they were just so visibly covered in skid marks.
What I don't get with girls' pants as well is there's barely any fucking material. So like,
you're doing really well to get skid marks on a fucking thong.
Exactly. Right. Next one. Couple waiting at the bus stop. It was raining hard, so massive puddle on the ground. Car comes roaring through the street, driving straight into puddle. Boyfriend throws girlfriend in front of him to shield himself. She was pissed. Have to say, maybe I'm a bad person. I'm doing this.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
That's hilarious.
We hold doors open for them. They can be a human shield for us.
I think it's just it's nothing to do with anything else other than just like
funny
human instinct.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just thinking I'm running for cover here. Whatever cover's available happens to be my girlfriend. a tough shit, really.
Yeah, I don't think I would literally grab her and be like, "Get the fuck in front of me." But if I kind of see it coming last minute, I might do a wee, like.
I'm not going to ruin my clothes.
Yeah,
yeah. Saw a guy propose to his girlfriend at the top of the London Eye, but she said no, and they sat in silence the whole way back down. It's like, risky doing it. You're stuck in there. Yeah, for a while.
It's like 45 quid for spinning that thing. I went to go, so I found out the price, so I just looked at it and then left. It's so expensive.
It's like half an hour around, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be the longest 15 minutes of your life.
You would need to, if you're ballsy enough to do it up there, you'd need to be waiting till like the fucking whenever it's getting to injury time. You couldn't do that 5 minutes into that trip.
Yeah, but that's also risky as well because like getting into injury time, it's like 90 plus 5 and you do the proposal right at the end. And like maybe she says yes and it's like a really emotional moment between you. And then it's like, come on guys, get off.
Yeah, you're getting ushered off.
Yeah, yeah.
For another person getting fleeced to go on to it.
Yeah, and like your fiance is now in tears and like, you know.
She takes it back. Yeah.
One of my life goals is to get sloppy toppy on the London Eye.
I would say that's pretty achievable.
You just got to go at a quiet time, I think.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't get your own one.
Oh, do you not? Ah, fuck.
No, I don't think so. That's what makes this worse because there's other people in the bubble that you're in as well. So you got to go like. Maybe it's impossible to get your own one.
What time does it open at?
But even so, like I feel like there'd be like Americans trying to get on it.
Yeah, they've had like Asian tourists lining up.
Yeah. Next one. Last summer at a garden party, a group of us remaining after all the respectable guests had decided to play drunk full contact rounders, which that sounds hilarious. This evolved into all the fielders trying to tear off the batter's underwear as they tried to run round the bases. I think this is sort of posh banter, I think.
Yeah.
Because this is the exact sort of thing that before I was like met a load of posh people, which has only really been in the last few years.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's so weird. And now I'm looking at that and I'm like, that sounds hilarious. Because I've met all these people now.
Yeah. It's a lot of the stories that we cover seem to always miss a step and then go to the fucking nth degree.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. There's a link missing here, but apparently that's the end of the chain of evolution of this game. A good female friend of mine, after hitting the ball, started to run. 2 fielders pounced on her, grabbing one side of her thong waistband each. Then they ripped them off upwards, and as they did, a butt plug came flying out with the torn remains of the thong. The rounders match swiftly ended.
So was this like a mixed game, or was it all winning?
Yeah, it's a mixed game. Yeah.
Right. Brave to be
don't know
running
how
about.
comfortable I'd feel ripping off someone's thong in this context, but
yeah.
Also, I'm not sure this is that cringe. Is like is having a butt plug in intrinsically cringe?
Sue me.
Yeah, you're always plugged up for the show.
It goes right in this desk beside the Calpol and the cinnamon.
Yeah, lovely. We've never cleaned that shelf. I don't think this one is that bad. It's just a weird story.
Yeah.
Next one. I was in the VIP section at BBC Big Weekender in Coventry and saw some girl blackout drunk preparing a speech to go up to George Clarkey. This is great because I know him. She violently threw up minutes later and got taken out by medical before she got to say anything. Have to say, nobody's ever tried to do that to me at events. So
maybe the same thing's happened.
Oh, they all just get sick and get taken out. I don't even notice.
I would say that's more than likely the case.
I don't think a girl has ever prepared a speech to go up to me.
I think you'd be surprised.
Have you prepared a speech to go up to a girl?
Never.
You just freestyle it at the time?
Well, yeah, I don't think I was ever... Anytime I was on a night out, my goal was never... Even whenever I was really young at uni, my goal was never to try
You just like to get smashed.
I was just there, dance floor, Chinese after. That was happy enough. So I'm not the right person to ask.
I knew you were into Asians, yeah. Dance floor and then Chinese after. Absolutely.
Just go to the London Eye, I'll be flying with a takeout.
We outed a guy who wrote a shit song for a girl. What's great here is I've been sent the song.
The lyrics?
Yeah, so I might just perform it for you now.
Lovely.
I'm not sure how it goes, so I'm just going to invent that bit. This is titled Song for Her. I just need someone in my life who can laugh at my silly jokes. Find someone who can bear my pain. Just like that one girl over there. She got the perfect smile. You are the vision of loveliness. Your smile makes me feel happier. The first day I saw you, I felt a little spark. I felt like I couldn't resist your beauty. As I wanted to lock our eyes with the most gorgeous girl I've seen. Just wish I could say I love you. Just wish I could make it less awkward. My heart constantly beats as you walk by. I just need someone in my life who can laugh at my silly jokes. Find someone who can bear my pain. Just like that one girl over there. Shawty, yeah. I added that bit. Yeah, shawty.
I think you done the song a lot of justice whenever...
Yeah, it's got to be worse than that.
But how the fuck is he trying to rhyme pain with there?
Oh, that's your main problem with this. It's not... To be fair, it's not very well written, no.
Yeah, that's one of the problems.
Absolutely shit.
It's also kind of the fact that I'm weirdly turned on.
Yeah.
Are you singing that?
I felt the tension in the room. You'd have to use like a diamond-edged industrial saw to chop that because it was so thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fucking desk is lifting.
Well, there we go. Hopefully everybody bloody enjoyed that. Our question for next week, pop it in the comments. We'd love to have your responses in. If you're on Spotify, hop over to YouTube, put your answers in there. What's the worst injury that you have ever had, and how did it happen? We'll go over those next week. Wow. Can you hear that? The phone is ringing. The phone is bloody ringing. Ah, shalom. Wow. Okay, wonderful. Wow, that's interesting for sure. Well, I've just had some news down the wire. This is today's news. Today, of course, being the 11th of January, 1964, and it's in from our health correspondent, Playboy Cardio. The United States Surgeon General Advisory Committee have published a landmark new study entitled Smoking and Health, in which they make some pretty outlandish and ludicrous claims. Here they are. This is... I mean, I'm having a tough time even believing this as I read it, but here we go. Cigarette smokers had a 70% increase in age-corrected mortality rate. Would you like a cigar, by the way?
I'd love one, actually, yeah.
Fantastic, yeah. There you are. Sorry, it's in looking a bit worse for wear at the moment, but there you are, mate.
Wouldn't matter to me.
Cheers.
It just fell apart.
Did it? Oh, it's all right.
I don't even know what ends which.
Apparently, according to this, cigarette smoke is the primary cause of chronic bronchitis. Is it breaking in your mouth?
Oh, that's rank.
Scram the cig. Scram the cig. Apparently, they've established a correlation between smoking, emphysema, whatever the fuck that is, and heart disease. A causative link between smoking and a 10 to 20-fold increase in the occurrence of lung cancer. And a positive correlation between pregnant women who smoke and disabled newborns. Well, that's absolute bullshit, isn't it? All of it.
That is fucking preposterous.
How could you work without a cigar at the desk?
I stopped smoking whenever I was like 16, and my health has been at a steady decline since.
I find this so funny about you. Like, you quit smoking when you got 16. You were like, nah.
Yeah.
When most people start, you were already over it. When did you start? You were like 12?
13, 14, but only on nights out, which...
Yeah.
Most weeks.
Which is like every day. Winston Churchill, the great man that he is, that got us through the bloody war. He just smokes cigars all the time, and he's in great health. He's never going to die.
Yeah, seems invincible, that man. I just think it's one of those cases where it's just scaremongering.
I think it's scaremongering.
The mainstream media.
If anything, this makes me want to smoke more.
Yeah.
I love it.
They'll be telling us not to drink after a few pints next. It's fucking ridiculous.
Drinking and driving, apparently. I've heard some flutterings about like that.
Yeah.
They're going to release some restrictions about that.
They'll be trying to stop us smoking inside next.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Genuinely, I feel like it's going that way. It's just everything's going so
You know what's
woke.
my favourite place to smoke?
Yeah.
On a plane.
Oh,
I love it.
yeah.
I love having a cigarette.
Yeah. After your free peanuts.
Relaxing, having a water. They probably did have free peanuts back then.
Yeah.
Because they weren't money-grabbing twats, the loss of them.
Just fucking
Free
snowflakes.
peanuts, glass of water, Jack on the rocks, and a couple of...
Unreal. Generally, if you have toothaches, ulcers, gout, asthma, anything, have a smoke, you'll be grand.
Sort you out, I reckon.
Yeah.
Also, the Nazis published some very similar research to this in the 30s, and you can't trust them.
Yeah, true.
Sketchy guys. And also, I think, doesn't smoking heals Parkinson's, I believe.
So I heard, yeah.
Yeah. I used to get the shakes.
You had them before you smoked that, actually, outside.
Yeah. I couldn't hold a test tube for shit. You remember you had to do experiments in science?
Just go
Very
everywhere.
fine motor work. I used to break that stuff all the time. That's not even like within the context of this bit. I have shaky hands generally when I have to do like very...
Yeah,
Small
you wouldn't be trusted with a soldering iron.
No, but after one of these,
You're flying.
hey, give me a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a fella where I'm from that went deaf, and his parents got him smoking, and after like 3 months, he had the hearing of a bat.
Okay, that's not true.
Would you say that's not what? Do you claim that's not true?
That's so funny. Yeah, there's a fella I know. He went to war, Second World War, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the latest war. He had to get his leg amputated. Then he had a few packs of Marlboro Reds, and it grew back.
Genuinely would believe it.
So good for you.
20 JPS red and it would fucking cure cancer.
Apparently,
Wouldn't cause it.
apparently only one doctor out of 10 agrees with this. So, because 9 doctors out of 10 smoke Camel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're the cool doctors.
absolutely. Fantastic news. The US is speaking absolute bollocks again. We don't have to listen to it. Indoor smoking for life.
100%, yeah.
So, thank you one and all for listening to another splendid episode of Radio Rufus. As usual, a song will be out on TikTok and Instagram for you to enjoy. The episode's up on YouTube and Spotify as always. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, so if you could help us make that happen, we're very, very close. That would be great. And then we'll go and smash some sticks in the woods like we promised. Anyway, back to you in the studio.